Oh, so, people in the MAGA crowd, what do you want to talk about? I know what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the fact that your guy, your God Emperor, your little sugar daddy Trump is now a convicted felon. And before anyone goes and say, "Oh, the jury was picked by Joe Biden, the jury was picked by the DNC, blah blah blah," the jury was literally picked by Trump's own lawyers. So how can they be, rigged against him? He was convicted by a jury of his peers. And I just find it funny right now, all over Twitter, all over YouTube, probably people on here are absolutely losing their mind because of the fact that their God Emperor is now a convicted felon. What happened? Gone are the days that the Republicans can now call themselves the party of law and order. Because literally, y'all have hitched your wagon on a guy who's now literally a convicted felon. You can no longer call yourself the party of law and order when you literally are riding on the wheels or the coattails of a guy who's literally now a convicted felon. You can no longer call yourself the party of law and order. But still, this will forever go down in history as the day that Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a 2016 hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. What a day! So I guess now begs the question for the rest of the country, because now we have literally the remaining year until November 5th comes around, where an election day comes around, and America has asked that ever so crazy question. Who we picking? Do we want to give the reins to a convicted felon? Or do we want the reins given to a guy who's not a convicted felon? Personally, for me, I'm not gonna fucking choose a guy who's a convicted felon to be the leader of the country. But you know how the MAGA people are. They're right now losing their absolute mind over this. Tell me again how y'all ain't really part of a cult, crying over a guy who never gave a shit about you in the first place. Truly is weird times we're living in here, folks. But the Republican Party can no longer call themselves a party of law and order. Because that's the biggest ironic part of all this. The party that calls themselves the party of law and order has a convicted felon running as their candidate for presidency. What a fucking world we're living in.